good friend of mine, Darren Akers. A lot of you tuned in, and we are live right now. Sports Rap Podcast is the group page on Facebook. So if you're not a member, you can still tune in and check out what's going on. But Darren Akers, the majority of you know him as Slim, Dead Poet Society, DPS Studios, former co-owner of the Camden Monarchs. You know me and my dealing with the Camden Monarchs. We also had him here a while back before we got into that crazy pandemic, and we were talking about his own team, the Yaden Kings. Has recently struck another deal, always on the go, always busy.
Just working.
Always working. Like, see, he's so humble, just working. Now the team has moved, and they are now going by the name of the Atlantic City Seagulls. Has a legend working with him as his GM, Lenny Cook. And if anybody tuned in doesn't know Lenny Cook, you don't know that name, I'ma find you, I'ma tie you to a chair, and I'ma give you a lesson. But no, seriously, you can Google it and find out about Lenny Cook.
I apologize for Lenny not being here today too. He just had some stuff to take care of in New York that came up last minute.
That's cool. See, there's another legend working. So the team in Yaden, like I said, we got hit with that gut punch, face punch, that combination with that pandemic that shut the world down, and it put a lot of, as we like to say, put a lot of monkey wrenches into a lot of plans.
My fault. COVID might have been a good thing for me.
Okay, yeah, it's the first time I heard somebody say that.
It just exposed a lot of other stuff too, besides, the health stuff that's going on. It exposed a lot of people for who they were. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah,
So
I can agree with that.
let's take a little walk. Now that you brought that up, and I'm not signifying or playing devil's advocate here. We are sports rap. You know our motto: station that keeps it 100. You just brought that up, so let's take a walk down that road where the team was in Yaden, and again, like it was when we talked about it here. There was another team in Yaden that was already in the ABA.
Delco Desperados.
Right, and you guys pre-COVID, so this is why I understand what he just said. Talked about it, came to a business agreement where both teams could exist in an area like Yaden, which is a small area.
Right.
And I'm not discrediting Yaden or whatever, but if you live in the city, in the suburbs or whatever, you know some of the counties are a little bit small, they're a little closer knit. So that's what I mean when I say that. So you got together, you had some discussions, and you figured out together a way to have both teams be present in Yaden.
Right, correct.
Then COVID hit.
Right.
And in a small way, you could arguably say that was like Thor's hammer on all the work that you guys did together.
Yeah, it was like a gift and a curse though, because like I said, it exposed a lot of stuff. Not only people, but how everything could just stop. You know what I'm saying? And nobody have a plan, or you know what I mean. We just don't know what's going to happen next. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it showed me that you have to have multiple ways to get out here and get some money, and it kind of helped us because we weren't really ready as a team to build it how it should have been built. And like you said, Yaden's a small town, so it took a lot more than we were prepared for. I think the market is like 20,000 people, something like that. 20,000 people live in Yaden. So thinking back now, I'm happy to stop this because it wasn't the smartest idea to me to even put that team in the area.
But that's that business hustle in you, and that that work in you where, look, I did it I was part of the Monarchs, so I know with my pedigree and what I've already done on my own outside of having a professional basketball team, I know what I can do.
Right.
So it's like, look, I can do this.
Right.
And Yaden is close, it's home. I got some ties there.
Right.
I know I had some people going in
Right.
that listen, this is what I want to do, and it's more or less like,
Let's
we
do
with
it.
you, let's
Right.
do it.
Right.
You know,
Right.
we
Right.
got it.
Right.
And then, like you said, when COVID hit, you learned a lot of things.
Right.
You learned a lot of things, right?
Right.
And a lot of times, I talk to people about this show, and sometimes people don't understand the true business side. Like me and my partner, we always try to get people, we give you the sports, we talk about that, but we always try to inform people and enlighten people about the business side.
Right.
And people oftentimes don't believe how cutthroat business can be.
For
Oh,
sure.
yeah, most definitely.
So we always try to bring some of that in. And like with me in the show, I'll present stuff to people, and when I initially present stuff to them, oh, you come on and do an interview, this, that, and the third, whatever. Oh yeah, I'm with it, whatever. Okay, so send me your email so I can send you the particulars on how we gonna do this.
Right.
Then it's like that crickets. Like,
Yeah,
Right.
like
oh,
I can't just show up.
yeah, like I can't just show up and talk about my stuff and this and that. It's like, well, you could, but it's a business side of that. So it's a possibility there could be a fee in there,
Right.
or it might just be some stipulations on how you can handle, how you conduct yourself in this interview, what you can bring to this interview. And it's kind of like that cliche, unfortunately, with our people, where somebody always wants something for nothing.
For sure.
But I'm sure Slim understands the businesses that he has, 2 businesses that he has. People gotta understand, listen, I got work to do.
Yeah.
I built this from nothing.
Right.
And I'm not gonna let one person, 2 people come in and ride off my coattails.
Right.
Like, for example, I talk to Monica about this all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the show, and thank God with my partner and the people behind the success that we've had, I get people all the time that hit up my Instagram and follow me and say, well, follow for follow and love the page and this and that. How can we like to collab? Because when I say to them, look, well, what you got in mind? Send me an email. We're not gonna talk business on social media.
Right.
I need you to be concise and business-like, and give you my email address, send me an email.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me what you're looking for, what you're trying to do, whatever, and we can talk about it. And then again, you get those people that just shy away.
Right.
But
Well,
like
yeah.
I said, they always lurking,
Yeah.
because I see them. You know, I like, even if I don't follow you back, I know now that you following me, which I don't understand how people don't get that. So I know you watching,
Right.
because I get alerts when you like a picture or when
Yeah.
you like this
Yeah.
and that. So
Yeah. It's a weird thing about business. The thing about business is you think people understand it,
But they never
but
do.
they don't.
right.
The thing is, most people don't read books.
Right.
They just
That's
want to
right.
do it.
Right.
Right.
And they don't understand, like, the material you need to really run a business, you got to do some homework.
Right.
You know what I
Sure,
mean?
Absolutely.
Like, people have been in businesses for years.
Right.
They've got a script. There's a format.
Right.
Now, don't get me wrong. Every format is not built for
Sure.
everybody,
Right.
but at least you should know it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
And if you know it, and it becomes familiar, then it's not a surprise to you when I say, all right, well, listen, there is a fee if you want to do. That's part of business.
Right. For sure.
You know what I mean? Now, if you don't want to do it, you don't want to invest in yourself,
Right.
and you've let me know how serious you are about your business.
Right.
Absolutely.
And it's easy for me to turn it off then,
Right.
Mhm.
because what you want to do is just have a conversation.
Right.
You don't really want to have you don't
Right.
you don't really want to do business.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? And it's easy for you to just say, you know what, you're right, I'll get back to you. I can deal with you from afar
That's
because
real.
you're not serious.
That's real.
And if you're serious about your business, you're not going to let people come into your aura with not being serious.
Right.
You know what I mean? They wasting your time and your energy and all the hustle and bustle that you putting in.
For sure.
They wasting your time, man. So you can't allow people to waste your time.
Right.
Because as we just
Absolutely.
seen, time is you can't get it back.
At all.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't get it back.
That's real.
That around when the pandemic hit, there's no lie, man. I went in my basement, man, and I literally have cases of books stuff that I haven't read in yet, network marketing stuff that I haven't read in years. I mean, I got posted stickers, everything in there from stuff that I studied over the years. I start cracking them back open. And just like any book, according to what's going on in your life, when you reread that book,
Right.
there's some new stuff that you found in there that you didn't pay attention to because you weren't ready for it then, but you're ready for it now. You know what I mean? So it's amazing how a lot of people just don't.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
They don't want to put that part of the work ethic in.
My,
you know what I mean?
My grandma used to say, if you want to hide something from a nigga, you put it in the book.
Put it in the book.
Absolutely.
It's the truth, though.
That's very
It's the
true.
truth.
You know, and I'm sure you've seen it firsthand. Not so much the full extent, literally, of the words, but the concept. For sure, you see it. So, with moving the team, tell us a little bit, if you will, about what happened and you coming up with the idea of having your own team and doing it in Atlantic City.
So to be completely like honest with you, I put this together in like a month and a half. I decided to separate from the ownership team that owned the Gaten team. I was the CEO, but everybody wasn't on the same thought process. So I decided to step away from that. And when I did, I actually just went to Atlantic City and I just chilled for a little bit, like 2 days. And Lenny actually called me and we were just talking, basketball. We talk all the time just as friends. That's my friend first. So we talk all the time, just encouraging each other and, just talking about different stuff. And he was like, yo, it would be crazy if we could just get a team here in Atlantic City. And I was like, bro, you just struck something in me. Like, that's what we got to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we talked about it. And I think like a week later, I was meeting with Marty Small, the mayor of Atlantic City. And he actually played for the team. The team was, the Atlantic City Seagulls was originally a team in the USBL. It was owned by a gentleman named King Gross. He's a real estate developer. So once Marty had told me, you played for the team and stuff, I sat down with King Gross, the former owner. We talked for a long time. He just told me everything that he felt about like Atlantic City and how he built the team there. And he gave me his blessings, to go ahead and keep it moving. And that's just what I did.
Cool. Shout out to Marty Smalls.
Yeah, for sure. Marty. Yeah.
And a lot of people may not know that he is the mayor of Atlantic City.
Absolutely.
And I mean that literally, like I just mentioned in that other comment, literally the mayor. Politically, the mayor. People might hear me and I say the mayor of Atlantic City and they just thinking all the events that he has done. And just that kind of like street code, he's the mayor of the city.
Mayor.
No.
Same rap city.
He's the legit, he's the legit mayor. And he's doing some great things over there in Atlantic City.
He cares about that city a lot. Very
you can tell.
About Atlantic City.
You can tell with the things that he does that he has grown from Marty Smalls, the party promoter, event guy, to being a true political figure in that city. So,
not to cut you off my phone, but not for nothing. Marty got AC like Vegas right now. Like, if you go down there, that joint is lit. Like, it's open. Yeah. Everybody outside. It's no mask.
So, what more perfect than to bring a professional basketball team to Atlantic City? Like you said, it was a team there prior to now.
They got 3 championships.
Yeah, I saw that. Couple championships down there.
They went 4 years in a row, won 3. Marty's actually on that championship team. R. Kelly was on the team. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
Well, basketball wise, apparently it was.
Not the R.
He got a championship.
Yeah, he got a chip. He got a chip.
He got a chip there, so we can give him his flowers for that.
Yeah.
Definitely. So again, a great city, like you just mentioned, how things have grown in Atlantic City, and I use that word grown. I hate to say blew up, man. I think
or evolve.
grown or evolve. I think
Yeah, man.
evolve or have grown are two better words
For sure.
because a lot of us in the city of Philadelphia, we know or we thought we knew Atlantic City.
For sure.
Just going down to the casino.
Sure.
You know, it used to be all the bus trips to the casino. You looking forward to getting that little food voucher
Yes, it's
and a
different.
couple dollars there. It's totally different,
different.
now.
Yeah, for sure.
It is a major attraction now. And like I said, what better way than to bring some basketball back to a known prominent basketball city. So it's a beautiful thing that you were allowed to do that.
Absolutely.
It's
And-
definitely a basketball community, man.
Absolutely.
'Cause I can go back to about 91, 92 when we played in the tournament, Atlantic City Kid
Absolutely.
Classic. And Lou Rowe, Romaine Hayward,
Yeah.
they were on that team. Lou Rowe with the UMass.
Yep.
Romaine Hayward ended up at LaSalle. But I mean, I remember the whole gym just being everybody from Atlantic City. And it's always been that way. That same tournament has been going on. Man, they used to have
Years.
beach stuff, everything, man. It's
Yeah.
like they ride together, almost how Chester is.
Right, for
It's
sure.
the same vibe. And the fact that there is a professional basketball team in that city and its owners and its general managers are black men, people of color, plays a part on the psyche of any young guy coming up watching right now and is at those games. They're seeing the people who are formulating everything look like them.
That's my mission, really.
You know?
I just want to show dudes that come from where I come from or places like where I come from that you don't have to be LeBron James
Right,
or
right.
Michael Jordan. You can do a million other things and still be the team owner or be the coach or be, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, the trainer or whatever.
The other side of basketball.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's a business that runs that.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? That a lot of kids don't know or don't even think about because they're not afforded those opportunities.
Oh yeah.
So one of my main thing is we have an internship program. We're working with the school district Atlantic City, where we teaching the young kids after school, and for the high school kids they get internship program where they come in and actually work with us
Okay. Yeah.
to learn the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
We want to be as much in the community as possible in Atlantic City. So our players, their contracts, you have to do at least 2 days of community service. You got to suit up after the games and do the press conference. So we making it as NBA as possible.
They're
And
professionals.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, they're
They should be.
professionals.
So all you folks and all you young guys, young people in Atlantic City, you just heard it here first from the owner. There's going to be internships. So you need to look into that. And also, if possible, and I'm sure these two guys are approachable because I know them. And I'm not just sitting here saying I know him. The gentleman sitting next to me, Slim. Like I said, y'all know I gave his name, but I know him as Slim. I met him as Slim. After the fact, I found out what his real name is as we started talking and me talking a little bit of business and things of that nature. But definitely approachable, and you need to get with him when you can, if you can. Pick his brain, ask him questions. Also, Lenny, the few times that I had spoken to Lenny when he was involved with the Camden Monarchs, always honest, sincere, and open conversation.
Absolutely.
And Slim just mentioned that he wants to let you young guys know that you don't necessarily have to be a LeBron James or. At that point, I wanted to do this sidebar, and I said, when he just said that comment, I need you to remember that and take note of that, and do your homework. Because, like I said, if you don't know Lenny Cook, you need to learn. Because in that year that LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, few other guys that are stars in the league right now were at one point ranked, nationally ranked, lower than Lenny. It's unfortunate that Lenny can't be here with us to tell his full story, but
We definitely gonna bring him back though.
but he just said it. They will be back. But until they come back, young people, some of you older people, Google it. do your homework. I think the matchup, the partnership between you and Lenny and the fastest that you are is going to be great, because just that short time that I was around him with the Camden Monarchs, when you're around him and he's around the game of basketball, you see his passion and his love for the game. I mean, just to make it short, in my opinion, and this is no disrespect to Lenny, in my opinion, his physical nature, because of his past, and I'm not going to give it to you, I want you to do your research and look it up. Because of his past, he probably really shouldn't have been playing for the Monarchs.
I agree.
But his passion runs so deep,
Absolutely,
that he put himself in that position to help those younger players,
absolutely.
to help them understand what basketball can do for you, understand how to be a professional in that sport. I can even go as far as, I don't remember what game it was, but there was a game where Lenny was on the court and getting a little crazy, not
In
so much
Camden?
crazy, in Camden, was getting a little herky jerky, and sitting in the stands, I heard this big man yell, "Coach, run through me." He's shaking his head because he remembers that game now. At that point, shortly after that was a timeout call, things changed, started going through him. That game ended up being a blowout. But, like I said, his passion runs so deep that he knew, I'm out here basically on one leg,
Right.
but my head, my IQ, and my understanding of what's going on this court, I can make things easier for these guys. And it showed, and so far and so forth, we saw what happened with that game.
I think you said it best. I think he just loves basketball. That's his passion. That's he don't care if it's coaching, if it's GM, if it's playing. He still goes and play pickup games. You know what I'm saying? So he just loves the game of basketball. He's so passionate about it, and this is something that his kids play ball. You know what I'm saying? So this is him.
So, like I said, I'm sure that union was brought about very easily.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's my
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
I tell you,
No
I had a
doubt.
coach
Like
tell
I said,
me. A coach told me, he said, you can fall out of love with basketball, but the game of basketball never leaves you.
Right.
absolutely.
When you really love the game, just like you love your chick, you'll find ways to be around her.
Right.
You'll find ways to get back.
Right.
Even if you get mad at the game done did you dirty.
Right.
Injuries, whatever. You'll find your way back to it somehow, because you can't live without it.
That's right.
It's like you don't function right
Yeah,
without it.
that's
You know
right.
what I mean? And him being a GM, that's just him wanting to have his hand on it somehow, some way. I gotta be attached to it,
Right.
because this is what I know. This is what I do,
Yep.
and this thing I love. You know what I mean? If this is the thing you love, you gotta find a way to be around it.
And he's huge on like trying to steer players from making those same mistakes
Right.
that he made.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's the major
I
thing.
think, I was there.
To me, like that's the major
I
thing.
think that's one of the most beautiful things in that union, where you got the full gamut in your GM.
Right, for sure.
Somebody from the hood.
Right.
We know when you had tryouts, there's gonna be guys from the hood coming to try out.
Right. Right.
And he's done it.
He's did.
He's done
That's what
He's
it is.
made mistakes. He's overcome his mistakes. His passion is there. So this is what I mean when I say to you young guys in Atlantic City or Philly, whoever wants to come and try out for this team, even if you don't make it, if and when you get the opportunity to talk to Lenny, talk to him.
For sure.
Because you never know where it might point you. And he's a perfect example now of being the GM, former player, like I said, former player. He's run the gamut, and he's willing to give that. Like I said, people that might know him or know his history can very easily say, he was like that. I don't know if he gonna want to talk to me or not. Totally different.
That's real.
Totally different. You would be surprised at, again, how easily approachable he is And when you talk to him, like Slim said, when you talk to him about basketball, he lights up in a way like, and he probably does it too, like a parent lights up when they talk about their kids.
Right, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he has his own kids physically,
Right.
but basketball
It's his
is like
baby,
a
man.
surrogate
Right.
baby for
Right.
him.
His baby.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably
So-
got the longest relationship he's ever had with anything or anyone is that ball.
That's real.
You know what I mean? I
Very
just,
possible.
the
Yeah.
minute you pick it up, it's that thing where you say, I used to at one time could not ride past the court. If I heard a ball dribbling, I had to pull over. I had to. I'm like, yo, they running, who run the ball? I had to pull over. It didn't matter what court, 1,000 courts in this city. I had to pull over. That was just my love for the game. You know what I mean? I just had to, if I seen a kid shooting around, I see his footwork is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Young buck, you know you're not gonna be able to hit that shot if your feet are this way. You gotta square up. Like so
Yeah.
now I'm went teaching this kid.
Right.
Yep.
But it's just when it's in you, it's in you.
Right.
Right.
You know what I
Like I
mean?
said, that's one of the things that took me into coaching
Mm-hmm.
and being able to be out there on the floor and physically show the kids. Like JC would always say, you can't be on the court, or Raheem said it, you can't be on the court in Timberland boots calling yourself a trainer. There's no way possible.
Right.
That
You out here.
you're going to get anything from that.
Yeah.
You can't be the guy in the gym on the sideline just yelling, no, move your left foot 2 inches to the right, and then you spin. No. A lot of our kids now need visuals, and they need that physical.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 10 times better when you can physically get out there and show them.
Right.
And being the GM, although he is the GM, this is another gift that Lenny can bring.
Right.
For sure.
Where
Right.
I could be up here in this suit or yada yada, but hold that thought for a second.
Yeah.
Come back, switch up, and get out there,
Yeah.
and you might be like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, because now it's in-depth analysis about what's going on at this particular time of the game, where you might want to get the ball at. I can see a shooter, see a scorer,
Right.
teach you spacing, teach you know what I mean, alongside what the coach is doing.
Right.
You know what I mean, to not step over the coach's toes,
Right.
but I can interject something in there
Mhm.
because I've been there.
Right.
You know what I
And it's
mean?
genuine.
Right.
Yeah,
And
sure,
and that's what
yeah.
it is, and it's a beautiful thing, man. When a guy has something to give back and they truly love doing it, and they can give it unconditionally, it's different, because you do have some players that they not trying to do none of that.
Right.
Like they holding on to the miracle. You know what I mean? Like somebody taught you the game
Right.
and you refuse to give it back.
Right.
Yeah.
Like how does that work?
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
You won't get anything out of it. that
Yeah,
way.
it's just a
Yeah.
weird thing. But I had one question for you, and one of the questions that was in my mind was, in terms of being an owner, and in terms of being around this professional game for quite some time, what was it that made you want to go in this particular part of basketball? Was there multiple things, or was it just one particular thing that said, you know what, man, you know what, I should try to get my own? Was it, yeah.
So when I first started with the ABA, Joe Newman, who was the CEO of the ABA, he had reached out to me to help him rebrand the league.
Mm-hmm.
As I started doing that, I started talking to a bunch of owners, and I started hearing their stories, like what the league needed and how they liked, owning the team and stuff like that. And it was like, yo, this is cool. Like this is decent. I want to try this. So once I started, as I started, building their teams and doing stuff for the league, it just was like, yo, I want to do. This is what I want to do.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Came natural.
Yeah, I just fell in love with it actually. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. That's a heck of a feat to go in there and do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's not like I was telling a young cat last week. I said, yo, man. I said, floor sweepers in the NBA get 80,000.
80,000.
Absolutely.
I said they get 80,000. If you're a seasoned veteran and you and you in the playoff sweeping floor, you get about 100,000.
Right.
I said there are other elements of this game that our kids have never
Absolutely.
tapped into.
Absolutely.
They think the ball is the instrument that will open your eyes up to everything else.
Right.
You know what I mean?
To be completely honest, I played basketball like for fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I never was junior varsity.
Right, right,
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to me, it was just seeing like that a dude from Mobile, Alabama, can start a team and have 10,000 people in a gym in Mobile, Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
and make $5,000 a night or $20,000 a night or whatever
Mm-hmm.
he's making. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right.
And still be impactful in their community. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like that was the thing for me. Like, dang, you really don't have to be Mark Cuban.
Right,
You
right.
know what I'm saying? Or
Right.
or what's to do with the Sixers. You know what I mean? To
Mhm.
own a team and right, and be like somebody or be
Right,
impactful. You feel
right.
me? There's other ways. So I just thought I think that's the extremely cool part about it. And just the connections you're able to build.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm cool with the mayor. You feel
Right,
me?
right.
So it's
Right.
like stuff like that I just find
Yeah, yeah.
like super decent. You know?
Yeah, you sit back, you're like, yo,
Right,
I get it.
Right. I'm from
Yeah, yeah.
19th and Cumberland, you know
Right,
what I'm saying?
right,
So
right,
it's
right,
like,
right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
That don't happen.
Right, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
Right.
Yeah, I told the same thing to my cousin Daoud, because he got
Right.
MMBL league.
Right.
And I told Oud when he first started doing the league, or when he thought about doing the league, we were sitting there talking, and I said, listen, I'm gonna move out the way. I'm just gonna give you Raheem number, because Raheem has already ran leagues.
Right.
The Chosen League, he's done it.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? And Raheem played on my basketball team when we was in high school.
Oh, right.
So I said, well, listen, I'm gonna move myself out the way, dude. Talk to Rock. Rock can give you more in-depth information about running the league, how to deal with the city, how to do all that. I can't give you that.
Right.
All I can give you is support.
Right.
What I need to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when he started it, it was the same way. It was almost like and then once it rolled,
Right. For
it
sure.
rolled.
For
You know
sure.
what I mean? He from Ridge Avenue. He
Right.
from 26th Street.
Right.
You know what I mean? But here it is, another guy being impactful in the community, changing lives.
For sure.
You know what I mean? As a commissioner of his own league,
Right.
but he was also coaching that change.
Right.
You know what I mean? So he was being impactful in so many ways, as well as you,
Right.
doing the same thing, man. And that's what they need. You know what I mean? That's what every neighborhood needs, man.
For sure.
Yeah.
They need somebody they can touch.
Right.
You know what I mean? If they can't touch you, then it just seems out of sight, out of mind. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And that's the best thing about it. Don't matter where you came from. I grew up in Hunter Park.
Right. For sure.
You know what I mean?
For
Don't
sure.
matter where you came from, but when your motor is going in the right direction, the sky's ain't no limit. Sky ain't no limit.
That's real though.
You know what I mean?
That's real.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. That's everything y'all doing, man. Everything you doing, man. I wish you nothing but
I appreciate that.
a bounty of success, man. Because I know I can hear it in your voice. You know what I mean? Your heart in it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And as long as your heart in it, nothing else matters.
Right.
Rough. Yeah.
So, two things real quick.
Mhm.
What were some of the challenges, just so people know and they can put a somewhat meaning on you coming from 19th Street to where you are now? So what were some of the challenges in starting your own team and bringing back the Atlantic City team? And also, knowing what you know, knowing the people that you know and knew prior to having your own team, what kind of impact do you look to have with your team and your organization now in the community and within the ABF?
So the first one again, my fault.
What were some of the challenges?
So the challenges I would say is that I'm from Philly, and coming into a town like Atlantic City where I really don't know anybody. Like Lenny is my go-to guy when I first came in. So it's like I only know Lenny, and just getting around people from Atlantic City and letting them know that I'm not here just to come make all the money and leave the city and keep it going. That I'm really here to make this Atlantic City's team and to like you said, build the community and be involved and really be here for Atlantic City. So that was one of the biggest challenges. But I feel like once I got in and I started building with people and they started seeing, like I said, I'm really about this. Like this is really with my passion. So they recognize that, and it, we're starting to move forward a lot of ways. And then the space. I live in Philly, while I'm in the process of moving to Atlantic City, but it just, the going back and forth becomes very challenging, especially when you got kids and stuff like that. So that's one of the challenges, and just building the correct team and not being from there as well. I want to have Atlantic City people, or people from Atlantic City involved in the team. So it's just finding the right people from that city that are willing to come on and help, and not try and kill me on the prices and stuff.
Right, I totally get that. Like you said, it's going to be a struggle, like you said, with you coming, being not from Atlantic City,
Right.
but in the process of moving. But
Right.
that's a challenge within itself, I believe.
Yeah, I'm the outsider. So,
Right. So,
for the second question.
the second question was, what type of impact, knowing your vision, knowing what you want, and what you have laid out for yourself and your team, how do you think you will impact the ABA with your vision of what you intend to put on?
Oh man, we about to be the best team in the league, period. From our game halftime shows to just the all entertainment in the venue. We got the dance team, we got the cheerleaders, I have the mascot, we got a blimp that flies around the arena and drops tickets and prizes, I got t-shirt guns. I'm giving you an NBA experience from start to finish, you know what I'm saying? It's not like any other ABA team you've seen. I guarantee at least a playoff berth this first season. We're going for the best players. We've been getting a lot of good feedback. A lot of players coming out wanting to play for us. Just because, like you said, Lenny's the GM, so a lot of people just want to play under Lenny and get that experience. But we've been talking to a lot of good sponsors that are hyped and happy that we're in Atlantic City.
Cool.
So we got some huge announcements coming. It's gonna make a lot of people mad, but huge announcements
Part of
coming.
the business.
You know what I'm saying?
It's part of the business, man. I mean, things happen.
So,
you know?
so I just see us being like a staple in the city. That hat is going, that AEC hat is going to mean something very soon. And we just push it for greatness, man. That's it.
So, what was the thought process in reintroducing the team as the Atlantic City Seagulls, as opposed to you being the owner and bringing in your own name?
I just feel like the legacy. I just feel like my thing is legends never die. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if you continue something great, you can only be great. You feel me? And I just felt like it's something the city already loved. They already had a passion for, and just to bring it back and reinvent it and make it a little hipper, a little fresher, and put my spin on it. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. So, what type of team are you looking for? Like, I know a lot of people may understand basketball, or they think they understand basketball. So a lot of people get caught up in the, like with the NBA, the West is usually a team that's usually gonna get out and run. The Eastern Conference are teams that can slow the ball down. Do you look to have a combination of both, or are you trying to come up with a game plan where your team will be unique in the style of play that you have?
So to be honest with you, you've watched the ABA games, so you know it's automatically a fast-paced game. They running, they just running and shooting. So we kind of want to go with a team like that, but like you said, we want it to be somewhere in between. But we're really relying on the coach that we choose to come up with that strategy. I feel like this time in Camden we were a little overpowering when it came to the coaching and his decisions and what he could do and couldn't do. I feel like this time I want to step back some and let basketball people do basketball stuff, and I handle the business. So I think that's once we got a coach, I think he'll be a better person to answer.
That's cool. That's cool. So that means that the coaching process is still underway. We are looking for a coach. I have done my homework, and I know tryouts will be coming soon.
Yes.
So I know Slim being my guy, I'll get a heads up, and I'll be able to let some people that I know, my followers and everything, know when that's going down.
Sure.
And some of the other announcements that he just mentioned will be recycled through Sports Rap right here on
For
the
sure.
radio. Quick question. I saw on the internet, and I've been following, and we talked a little bit about this on social media. Naming the mascot. How was that process going, and how strange were some of the names that people submitted?
I think I got all this. So the process is actually, it's coming along. We're just trying to get people to go to the site and vote on the names now. We had somewhere around like 46 names. Then we cut it down to, let me see, I'll tell you how many.
So while you're looking for that information, I'm gonna let my partner in on this too. A little disclaimer here. We got some steak in there, bro. It's just between us three right here. Got a little bit of steak in there. That's what made me ask that question to my buddy here. You know, but seriously though, I've looked at the list, and that's what made me ask that question. Some of the names that I saw on the list,
Like people getting high.
like it made me think that some of these people were just in it just to get what was being given away,
Yeah, I agree.
like just to win something, and had no clue or no following on any mascots anywhere else as far as some of the names that they put on there. And if you look at that list, and he's laughing because he knows, when you look at that list, people that know, that have been to sporting events, that have been around or seen mascots and know the names of some mascots, you look at that list and you be like, wait, where the hell did this come from?
I think we got like 300 votes so far, somewhere around there.
Cool. So look, folks, keep voting, man. Y'all can get on the website,
Yeah,
accgoals.com.
they tripping, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
accgoals.com,
tripping, man.
and get over there, click that link and vote.
There's a couple good ones on here though.
It
And
is.
vote.
It is. It is.
See that one that's at the top, right?
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
I thought Wave was gonna win for the longest, but the one at the top has been winning as of right now. So.
You know, and me personally, I did that. Like I said, I did that out of the friendship, out of my base. Like there was no ulterior motives in it for me. I just happened to see it, and like you said, I just looked at Atlantic City Seagulls. I know mascots. Bang, here it is, and I just typed it in and sent it. And just by chance, I was at work one day and preparing for the interview, and I looked and I saw that, you know, some stats were up, and I looked and I saw where it was. So you know, I'm being funny here now, but like I said, some of those names, like boss, you just looked at that list. Some of those names,
There's
like,
some joints on there, man. When
people
you like,
have-
yo, what
yeah,
are
like,
you talking about?
what are you thinking?
What?
Like you've never been around, never seen a mascot, never heard a mascot's name or anything like that before. So
Normally it has to. Normally they rhyme.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or normally it outside of it being rhyme, it has to do something with the city.
Right.
Has to do something with the mascot itself
Right.
or the team name.
or the team name.
Right.
Like
Yeah, so you know, folks. Yeah, like I said, people get
I
over
don't know
there.
what these cats is up
Get
to.
over
They-
ACC goals. Check that list out. Vote for your favorite name, and you know, it's going to come out sooner or later. It's going to come.
So yeah, we're gonna do. We're actually waiting on the costume to be complete. I think we got 2 more weeks. And we're gonna do a hatching ceremony in front of Boardwalk Hall, and we're gonna announce the name then. But we're super excited about that. The mascot. That's been a process.
Absolutely, man. You know, you can't have that experience that you plan on having
Right.
without having a mascot.
Right.
It's got to be a mascot.
You gotta
there.
have it.
For sure.
I think having a mascot brings the people in more.
Right. For sure.
And also, if people don't know, the ABA is kind of reminds me of Philadelphia Soul, the AFL.
Right.
It's a family friendly event where there's stuff going on for the kids, stuff going on for the adults. It's just a family environment.
$10 ticket.
Yes, very reasonable tickets, you know, and you're going to get that full experience.
Absolutely.
Because, correct me if I'm wrong, the target audience, or most of, or part of the target audience that you have, a lot of times or sometimes may not get the opportunity to get the full extent of NBA game.
Absolutely.
With the true, like we like to say, stars or mega stars.
Absolutely.
So this is like, I think, 10 times better,
Yeah.
because you getting that experience, but it's in your own backyard,
Right.
and it's people that look like you, maybe even people that you know,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
that are putting this forward to you.
Yeah.
So that makes it even better. So we wish you all the best,
I appreciate that.
man.
Thank
You
you.
know, like I said, I was with you, and I saw the success of the Camden Monarchs when they started out, and that led you to the Yaden Kings, and then, like we said, we got hit with that COVID.
Right.
But the persistence, the business nature, prompted you to stay with it when you could. And you said it took you a month to
Yeah.
come up with it. And that just shows me the dedication
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, the fortitude that you have to stay with it. And the giving back, something that we like to do here at Heat 100 Radio and us as our show. The giving back is, I think, one of the biggest parts why you will be successful and have been successful in some of your other business endeavors. I think this is a great thing.
And if y'all want to win tickets, y'all can be able to get them right here with Sports Rap with D. 2 tickets every home game. You'll be able to win 2 right here. You know what I'm
See
saying?
that?
We
We
in
appreciate that. You see that? Like
We
Ian
in it.
Gilbert said, it's not who you know, it's who knows you. And that's what he said to you, you know.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ant for that. He also wanted me to, so when you talk to Lenny, let him know that Anthony Gilbert said hello. Like I said, unfortunately, he had other business to attend, so we couldn't be here today. But Slim has already assured us that they will be back,
For sure.
and they will bring Lenny with them. And again, shout outs to you, man. Like I said, the business concept, the things that you're doing, great for the community, great for us,
Appreciate
great for us as black men
Mm-hmm.
as well. Before we close out, shout out to Brittany, your coordinator, your cheerleading coordinator.
She's been working very hard. Thank you. I appreciate her so much.
Again, shout out to Marty Smalls for
Absolutely.
welcoming you in and being
Absolutely.
open, having his door open for you for anything that you need. So, tell folks where they can find you on social media.
Social media, we're AC Seagulls, www.acseagulls.com. My company, Dear Poet Society.
Poets with a Z.
Poets with a Z at Dear Poet Society, on everything, dearpoetsociety.com. And like I'm here to help anybody, man. So if you need help and you want to do some real business, holla at me.
Like I said, real business. No playing around.
Yeah, I don't have no time for that.
Absolutely. Baldy,
Hey, you can get at me, Aaron Baltimore on Facebook and Ball75 on Instagram.
as you know me, at SportsRap_D, Instagram and Twitter. You can check out the YouTube, Sports Rap TV. This video will be up later this week for anyone that missed it. The audio will go up probably tomorrow or the next day on iHeart, Google, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcast. The webpage, sportsrapradio.com. And again, it's Monday, beginning of the week. As we like to say, it's going to be a little warm today, but be great on purpose.
Yes, sir.
Check us all week on social media, and we'll be right back here, heat100radio.com, on Monday to bring you more news, sports, and updates on everything that's going on in the sports world. And we will also keep you up to date on the Atlantic City Seagulls. Friends of the show, friends personally. We'll see you all next week. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Great interview.
Thanks again, bro.
No doubt, bro. No doubt, fam. Congratulations on all that.